Thank you. This is actually one of the first presentations to the Ukrainian audience in English. Kind of weird to me because many guests are from either Warsaw, Munich, some foreign countries. I could tell that, well, I'm officially from Darnica and I'm based in Podil. Okay, so where Google Ukraine is based. So much closer than you think. But I'm happy to share some knowledge which I sourced from other markets, Ukraine and other markets around YouTube, because YouTube is what I do for the business owners, for advertisers, for agencies in Ukraine and Belarus, Kazakhstan, and some other export markets, because Ukraine is actually a birthplace for very successful startups which source customers not in Ukraine, but other US, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, etc. But first of all, I would like to show one story, which I very like. If you know that story, bear with me. If you have not heard this story, please listen carefully. Every Google employee and every YouTube employee has to go through quarterly trainings, and those trainings are mandatory. If you don't complete those trainings, well, there is a good chance that you will not see me next time here. 2 years ago, around May, I had several reminders from my VP, sales VP, in my Gmail, corporate Gmail. Serhiy, you still to complete this YouTube products training update. I ignored 3, 5, 10 emails. Then my country director, Dmitry Sholomko, also reminded me, Serhiy, and others, please complete your mandatory trainings. But we're all busy. And well, I have a lot of reminders from my manager. I have a lot of reminders from VP, but I ignore most of them because I have some things in my life. A lot of messages. So one Thursday, I cut my workday short around 4 p.m. and I went back home with my home laptop. And here I am with my wife around the kitchen table, and we were actually going to celebrate her birthday because that was her birthday. That's why I was at home during the work hours with my work laptop. So I open my laptop, I log into my YouTube account, and She Loves Adele. And I launch YouTube playlist of Adele. And I'm streaming it to my smart TV. And here comes the first ad. The VP of Google, who tells from this screen, looks like you have 2 days to finish your mandatory training on YouTube. I'm sure that you'll make it. Good luck to you, and see you on Monday. My wife was set aback a bit. She said, well, Serhiy, has everyone in the world just seen this? Or it was just personal? Okay. So I do remember that YouTube video ad, and don't ask me whether I completed that mandatory training. I did that evening. That YouTube ad drove an immediate action. Why? Because it was on target, it was highly relevant, and it was easy for me to act because there was a link in that video how I can go and complete my mandatory YouTube products training. Any ideas which product did we use actually? Which product Google used to reach me and not anyone else? Google Ads, okay, what kind of targeting? It is custom intent. Oh, sorry, it is customer match. What is customer match? Google knew who of Google employees with corporate emails have not finished their mandatory training. And they knew who out of 16,000 employees completed mandatory training. So they took a list of those who were lazy like me, uploaded them into customer match to Google AdWords, Google Ads Now, and they targeted those people only based on email, but not through email, which I ignored. Email was used to identify those people who have not completed. And I logged in to my YouTube with a corporate account. Okay, was it fair from Google? I think it was fair. It was work time, it was corporate email, it was corporate laptop. Okay, this is one of the examples which is actually 2 years old, how YouTube could drive actions already. I did convert. And YouTube is moving closer and closer to that. What changed over those 2 years? First of all, video is becoming very popular worldwide. Why? Because we like to get entertained, we want to learn something, we want to buy something. Who watched online video yesterday out of you? Whatever video, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Netflix, okay? That's why it will be the majority of our traffic in the next 2 years. Next point, almost 2 billion people are logged in to YouTube. So what's different? Okay, that's fine. We are moving from cookie-based into logged-in data. And if you ask, well, what's an interest? Why do people log into YouTube? Why should I log into YouTube? Who receives recommended videos? Who receives recommended music videos? Well, all of you. When you log into YouTube, it's much easier to predict what you're going to like. I know that there is a way to improve for us, especially on the video side, but on the music playlist, with YouTube Music, YouTube Premium, this is where we source knowledge about you, what kind of music, what kind of video content you like. That's why when consumers see that there is some benefit for me to log in, and not just the risk, then consumers do log into YouTube. And if you ask, well, what's proportion of YouTube users are actually logged in? I would say majority. Majority of YouTube users, they do log into their accounts. And when they log into accounts, then suddenly it's cross-device rich market. You logged in your smartphone, you logged in your desktop, in your laptop, or your any other device, smart TV. This is the base for YouTube models on those who logged into YouTube to build for those who are not even logged into YouTube. Because when you have 2 billion users, you can build very reliable models to predict that looks like this cookie, and that cookie is actually one person, just on 3 different devices. Based on what? Based on the behavior of these people. Next, and comes next slide. How much time we spend on YouTube? Well, worldwide, around 34 minutes. But that's an average number. When we're talking about younger generation like you are, perhaps you're spending 45 minutes or 60 minutes on YouTube. And the challenge I see now even, that you spend it on one particular device which you didn't spend time on YouTube 2 years ago. It's smart TV. Already close to 15% of watch time on YouTube comes from smart TVs. You either stream it from your smartphone to TV, or you use smart TV YouTube app, or some TV set box. Therefore, the question is, it is not just adding YouTube watch time, it's stealing watch time from a TV screen in a very direct way. Now talking about what's changing else. The touch points. We always knew that, well, definitely, some of you used Google Maps, some of you used Google Search, some of you used YouTube, etc., etc. What's different this year is that for the first time, I think, in the last 12 months, we officially connected all these signals, i.e., if you traveled, if you searched on YouTube a particular hairdresser salon in the last 7 days and drove on your Google Maps, we can target that person on YouTube, that this person is actually visiting this hair salon. All of you who searched for Hilton Hotel this morning in your Google Maps to check whether you have traffic jam, etc., and if you visit regularly such hotels, you're in a basket of frequent visitors of conferences, frequent visitors of hotels. Based on what? Those signals. But those signals divided in 2 parts. Interest, I like actually thinking and watching about YouTube advertisement, etc. That's nice. And the second part, I'm going to buy something. Which agency should I use for YouTube advertisement, etc., etc. This part is a higher funnel audience. This is a very hot audience which is ready to buy. And we'll discuss it later on a bit. This is the situation. The problem is competition is heating up. You used Google search, for example, to reach your audience, but we notice actually that competition on Google search is heating up, and we see higher CPC and lower CTR rates. Why? Because everyone wants to be on Google search. Everyone wants to be in the top 3 links on the top. And there are so many advertisers, and there is so one Google search. It's okay for Google, because CPC is going up. To some extent, my salary is going up, but your profitability is going down. And it's a problem for Google as well, because we know that's a long-term challenge. That's a long-term problem. Therefore, Google looked at YouTube and other platforms and said, how can I address the audience which searched for that particular car yesterday? How can I reach that audience? Not just on Google search, but also on YouTube, and see how they convert, how they buy this product, not just watch YouTube or share videos, etc. Why is it possible only recently? First of all, large databases. Even Google didn't have enough reliable data to qualify particular models. After some time, when we have so much data, it's easier for us to test models, and we see that some models are much better, machine learning models, than others. And based on that, we can crunch those models with new hardware much faster. So the question is, okay, that's clear. Video is getting popular. Google search is getting more competitive. We didn't know how to see whether people convert or buy something after they watch YouTube. But now those signals are connected, whether I go somewhere on Google Maps or I use some particular app. How should I use it in order to build campaigns? Remember, simple formula, we just call FACT, which stands for, we will talk about one single format today. That's format True View for Action, and I'll give you more details what it is. We'll talk about one particular audience as an example to use with that format. We'll talk about creative, how you should adjust creative in order to drive conversions and drive sales with YouTube ads. And then you need to prove it to yourself, to your shareholders, to your owner, that it's working. It is about T, tracking. So FACT stands for format, audience, creative, and tracking. First, the format. When people talk about what's the difference between True View and True View for Action, you used to pay for views, like CPV, cost per view. You used to pay for impressions, which is CPM, for 1,000 impressions. But you had no idea actually who converted and whether they convert. This format actually targets and is optimized on conversions. I show you video, and I think you're actually going to buy this car. You look like similar to me, but somehow these two bought a car, and this lady didn't buy a car. You're the same age, you use the same phone, you wear the same shoes, Nike. What's the difference? Well, it looks like you like to travel to Italy and you travel to France. Holy cow, okay. Find more people like them, but those who going to Italy. Trying to find one buys a car, shoot. Same shoes, same smartphones, Italy for vacation, But still, only one person bought a car. What's the difference? Looks like I showed that ad in the morning and that ad in the evening. For some reason, even for the same audience, if I show a different time, they can learn much differently. Good. Discarded those in the morning, still going to Italy, still wearing the same Nike shoes, and machine learning uses 80 million signals. The question is, yeah, but we try to do this from the agency side. We also look at the profile of the audience. Who of you is analyzing 80 million signals a day? Even for us, for YouTube, if we try to ask that machine, who is converting? Machine says, I don't know. Because yesterday, those people who watched YouTube ad in the evening converted, and suddenly on Friday, those who watched YouTube ad in the morning converted, because it's Friday. And that's how it works. Machine always checks what is the relation between those 80 million signals. We don't know why people convert, but we know that machine will find those who convert. So that's the difference between agency planning, manual planning, and this is how true view for action works. You target either CPA, and you say, I don't care how you find it, machine, but find me those people who will convert and who will buy that car at a CPA maximum $1,000. Thank you. Give me 2 weeks, I'll find those people. Or you say, I have a daily budget of $10,000 a day, and I want you to maximize conversions. Find as many conversions as possible, whatever the cost. The only limit, $10,000 a day budget, so I don't go bankrupt. And machine will find maximum conversions for that budget based on your behavior in Google Maps, apps, YouTube, Google search, whatever. When we're talking about format, the question is, well, that's fine, it'll optimize, but which metric should I use? You can use targets, actually, targets. Website visits, product overview, specific page visit, basket page, or sales, final sales. And we recommend to set up different campaigns and set different objectives. Definitely, when you have, well, could you please find me 1,000 visitors to the BMW car website today at a maximum CPA of $10? This is the softest conversion metric with the lowest CPA. This will be the hardest conversion metric with the highest CPA. Set up different campaigns, see what's working best, see conversions, and optimize your YouTube campaigns for these customer conversions. People ask, okay, but your machine is not smart. It will need some time to learn. Exactly, just like children. Children do not cross the road not because they understand that it is dangerous. No, the last time they tried to cross the road, mother shouted from behind, Dima, don't cross the road. Machine learns on reactions. Therefore, we need 2 weeks for learning period. You will set up a CPA target. It will be high in the beginning, but once again, in order not to go bankrupt, you limit a daily budget. And your CPAs will be 4 times higher than your existing Google search CPAs. But after a week or 2, machine will find out, oh, shit, those are hard to convert, these are easy to convert, and usually after 1 week, actually, 1 week, you already have much lower CPA because machine understood who is going to buy that car or that software or that product online, that dress, that pair of shoes. This is how it works. But once again, don't ask me why. The only why is This is the target I want to pay. And this is the fact. They converted. Don't ask me why they converted. Why you sold that dress to a man, 45 years old, don't ask me, don't judge me. Because you're buying conversions, okay? So which conversions and how you will see it in YouTube and Google Ads account. For example, Yulia wants to book a holiday. And she saw your ad for a holiday. She can actually click the TrueView ad. Why? Because you have a button here. This is a feature of TrueView for Action. You push a button, and she goes to the website. And then she buys. And we know, looks like this customer saw an ad, pushed the button, even didn't see an ad, pushed the button, and converted. Or Yulia may view an ad till the end, or at least 10 seconds. Then she thinks, because she actually wanted to hear Adele playlist. She didn't want to go and buy. And this is our regular behavior. We don't go straight from YouTube. Thank you. I've seen that Italy vacation commercial. I'll think about it. And tomorrow, maybe, I will go and check your website. We're watching Yulia. If she comes, whether she clicked or she came later to our website, to Seychelles, we see conversion. And we know, oh, so I need to find those people. They are available. But Yulia can also actually watch the video less than 10 seconds. She can watch it not till the end. That's a challenge. Will we know what she did after? Yes, we will. That's a third type of conversion. It is called view-through conversion. You'll get this presentation if you cannot see. It's called view-through conversion. Count all those. Going from formats into audience. Why do you need audience if machine is so smart? Well, you target all Germans, you target all French, you target all Australians, and machine is so smart, she will find that Yulia who wants to go to Seychelles. Yes, if you give me 2 or 3 weeks to learn. But I don't want to burn your money. Therefore, if you narrow a bit your audience, and if you say, for example, custom intent, could you please find those Yulias who were actively searching for Seychelles trips, particularly countries, in the last 7 days? And can I show those Yulias my YouTube ad? It will narrow because you say, well, there is a particular custom intent. They're searching particular products. So we recommend to use this particular target and custom intent to reach that audience. Start from the bottom. Think about remarketing. You remember that example of me being targeted by Vice President of Google that 4 p.m. with my wife? What did they use? They got my email. You have emails of your customers who visited your website, perhaps registered, but never bought something. Or who were actively researching something on your website, but never bought. Or who bought that fridge 5 years ago, and you think, oh, shoot, if he bought or she bought that fridge 5 years ago, we know that they are going to replace it soon. And you target those. Therefore, whenever you see somehow that, wow, here is a BMW, et cetera, and you suddenly say, oh, it's interesting. I was just researching BMW, and I see this commercial about BMW. Is that a coincidence? Совпадение? Okay, so that's about remarketing. That's about custom intent. But more details about custom intent. So if you're going to winter holiday this winter, and you're searching for ski equipment or some particular ski brand, we get this signal, and when you're back home and you're watching that Adele playlist, you will see ad for ski equipment. in your comfortable environment. And the question is, some people say, well, but that's search. That's search for YouTube. What's so new? What's so new? Who has a click-through rate in Google search more than 20% here? 2. Which means that for majority of you, if you have click-through rate less than 20%, 80% of customers who were looking for some products on Google search, you cannot target them because they didn't click, they didn't go to your website. It's 80% of a very hardcore audience which searched for product, but it was very expensive for you to be in Google search because those guys were ready to pay twice more to Google. Therefore, they won Google search auction. And 80% of you have no ideas about that audience. How you can play with those guys? Thank you. You compete in Google search with your very high CPC bid. I'll wait until the consumer comes home, relax a bit, get a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and watch YouTube, and suddenly, bam, we have new BMW at a discount. And they say, oh yeah, actually I was searching for BMW. And said, this is the new way how you can add to your Google search campaigns. We recommend to use 2 sets of platform data. Standard platform data, interests, URLs, categories. Do you know actually that you can target those people who actively use, let's say, Nike running app, and not in the app. Suddenly you want to sell sports shoes, etc., etc. And you say, well, could you find me those who use Nike app? We find those people who actively use Nike app, and we target them on YouTube. They think it's a coincidence. It is not. If you visit BMW shop salons regularly because you're researching something, you can target with location categories. You just go to custom affinity and you type in Hilton. And here is location extension, Hilton. Please target those who visit Hilton regularly. You will target those, or any other hotel, or any other car manufacturer, etc. Creative. So what's the difference between creative? What should we change in our creative? Usually you take TV creatives and you say lead in, build, climax, big reveal. The problem is that by this time, I skipped your ads on YouTube. I don't want to see a story build up on YouTube. I want a clear message. What can you offer? Therefore, recommendation, start high on YouTube already, especially for true view fraction. Recommend, what are you going to sell? What is the preference? Why should I buy you? What is the price? You know that I was searching for that car. Don't tell me that BMW is actually good driving on green pasture along the coastline, etc., etc. I know it. I've been searching for BMW or Mercedes, etc. Tell me the price. Tell me where to buy. Tell me what's a discount. Tell me what's an added value. Let me act. So that's the difference. But I would tell you one thing which I even picked up recently as a YouTuber. Don't believe in that last 2 dots that, well, and then your emotion goes down. No. If you can cut your ad while high, it's good. If you have some hints in your ad on second 20, 25, with the music going down, people know, well, it looks like the commercial is going to add, so what I do? I skip. And usually at the end, you put pricing. Usually at the end, you say dealers. Usually at the end, you say what you want to sell. Don't give cues that you're going to add your commercial. Don't soften music. Don't tell, and that's why you should buy. Okay? Cut immediately your ad when you delivered some message. On creative side, some for examples. So which creative should I use? So one client, Artlist, for example, they are making business for creative agencies and YouTube bloggers. They want to sell extra music to you because music royalties are expensive. Therefore, if you as a business, especially small business, medium business, want to create an ad, you need to add music and you need to put some royalty to pay for royalty. Artists actually source music and they sell it cheap. But they need to find customers. Who to sell customers? So they selected some keywords like royalty-free music, music for my ads, music for broadcasting ads, or music for channels with 50,000 subscribers. They know that those search words are very popular with their audience. And then they take those search words and they even put it in creative. And this is how the ad looks like when they use search words popular with the audience.
What does an Artlist subscription cover? Well, everything.
Do you cover broadcast commercials?
We cover everything.
But now I have 50,000 subscribers.
Awesome. Still covered.
But what if-
Everything.
Wait, and if I'm filming a show?
Everything.
But my channel views?
Everything.
Wow. Cool.
One price, one simple license. We've got you covered. For everything. Start now and get your license.
Simple. No can lions for this ad. Just conversions and lower CPA. 26% lower CPA to get new subscribers. And you know how much they charge for subscription? $200. And they got their customers through YouTube. And they had a number of these commercials. Second, this advertiser goes even further. They say, okay, I know that my customers are searching for camp tents, running shoes. And I'm selling those running shoes and camp tents because I'm a sports gear retailer. Okay, so when somebody was Googling to buy a tent, someone was Googling to buy a backpack, I will show them an ad. This is a previous example. What they do now, and I will show subject to the context they're watching. If you search for the backpack and going to watch a football game, I'm going to show you a commercial with football pitch on the background and that backpack with the price on top of it. And I will have 110 commercials for you. The only difference, if you're a sports fan watching YouTube sports channels, you would have football pitch. If you are an admirer of Adele, you would have on background a concert stage. And this is the relevance which they use. So watch this commercial. Custom intent, what I searched, and what I'm going to watch. Football match. This is how commercial would look like. Easy. No can of words. Just sales. 171% increase in conversions with 110 ads like this. And were ads very expensive to produce? Not at all. Because they took a stock image for the background, their product images to put over, and they changed titling. That's a job for a copywriter, maybe for 2 hours or so. That's how they delivered 173% increase in conversions. This example, Yix, another retailer. They use clear call to action, but also use technology and urgency to sell. So, well, don't use TV approach if you can use technology. So what they do, they know that these two ladies were actually searching for that particular gown or dress. And that dress cost $450. But you said, well, actually, I'm going to give you a $50 discount on that fancy dress only if you click an ad right now. Because if you don't click an ad right now, you will not find that dress on our website at a $50 discount. Because there is no such a product page if you don't click an ad now. That product page is hidden. It is available only for those who is interested in that ad, in that product, and who is ready to click, I want that dress now. And this is what commercials look like. Even if you try to find this ad, you cannot replay this ad because it's an ad. This ad is not hosted on the channel if you don't want to host it on your YouTube channel. But next time consumer sees this commercial, what is she going to do? Perhaps click an ad, just in case. Okay? So think about this. As far as I remember, 51% increase in return on ad spend just through this trick with YouTube ad. The final one, product demo in entertainment music. Simple product demos work if, for example, you want to cook something this evening for you, for your husband, for your children, or your husband and you want to cook for your wife and for your children. Let me say that. Okay? And you want some recipes. And you say, well, what can I buy, et cetera, I'm responsible for cooking at my home. Custom intent, product demo, and CPA on conversion, subscription service. This advertiser actually sells subscription for ingredients. So we know you buy these ingredients, and this is what you're going to cook tonight for your family. Okay, so Marley Spoon, also increasing conversions, thousands new customers, and a number of commercials. If I wanted some pasta recipes, they had for pasta recipes. If I wanted some Asian cuisine, I had an Asian cuisine ad. Also, multiple ads with only measure, do people convert? But then how can we check it? Even with Google search, when people say, yeah, but Google search is working, it's converting a lot of people. But well, come on. Even if we don't show Google search ad, people will convert because I'm famous, because I'm a leader in my category. Don't push Google ads to me because my customers will convert anyway. You can check it with conversion lift. So what you do, it's a very objective way to see whether those people converted because of your ad or because of something else. Maybe your competitors died. Maybe you offer a good price and your competitors increased prices. For things being equal, what we do? We have a control group, those people, once again, who are going to go to holiday in Seychelles. And we have similar audience who are going to Seychelles, thinking about going to Seychelles, but who saw our YouTube ad. You're sisters and brothers. You're very similar based on 80 million signals. The only difference between you didn't see YouTube ad and you saw YouTube ad. And then we see how you converted. And based on the difference between these audiences, we see that you converted because of a YouTube ad. Second option, people say, well, but do people actually remember me? Do people like me? It's not about just whether they convert. Do they think much better about me? Brand lift. That's a survey method. If the first one is very objective method, don't tell me how you behave, we know. With this method, we ask you, once again, we show to the audience who is going to go to Seychelles, YouTube video, and we go to the audience who is going to Seychelles, but we don't show the video. And then suddenly you have black boxes in YouTube. Which of these brands have you seen ads recently? Has anyone seen those black boxes on YouTube? So you were respondents in the brand lift. Okay. And perhaps there was your brother, your sister, who was just like you, but was exposed to the YouTube ad. And then we say, have you heard of this travel agency? Next time you use travel agency, are you going to use them or not? And both of you answer. And once again, the only difference, you saw an ad and you didn't. And we see brand lift. Another metric here, remember, Google search. Because many businesses say, well, based on Google ads and YouTube ads, I expect that people will be interested in my business. They would rush to Google search, and they will start, Marley Spoon. What's that, Marley Spoon? Or as some of you rush to Artlist, and you said, what's Artlist? How can I find Artlist? We're watching you. Once again, based on the fact you've seen a YouTube ad, and you haven't seen YouTube ad for Artlist. Both of you are actually searching for Artlift. But suddenly this audience shows a 25% increase in search for Artlift in Google search. This audience shows only 15% Google search for Artlift. Why? Just because someone told them. Just because there was a Facebook campaign. The only difference with you, you've seen an ad and you haven't. And suddenly you started searching. This is called Search Lift. You will also get it for free in the brand lift tool. Previous one is also free for your campaigns. So it's a measure, it's not a product. And the final one, YouTube path reports. So you ask, do people actually convert after they've seen YouTube? Did they see YouTube at some stage before they converted? We're launching YouTube path reports just now. And gradually, you will see this in your accounts. Actually, you see that 658 people who converted and bought that product based on search because they clicked on search. Actually, they saw YouTube before. You will know what is the role of YouTube in the path to conversion. Remember, facts. And if you ask who does it best, let me show you a video. And off we go. Thank you.